Most governments these days are enacting measures to make buildings more energy efficient, except Alberta, that is. They did a very curious thing earlier this week by amending the charters, the actual charters for the cities of Calgary and Edmonton, to prevent local governments from requiring energy efficiency measures in new homes. So I'm going to talk to Kevin Lockhart, who's the research manager at Efficiency Canada, about that. Welcome to the interview, Kevin.
Thank you, and I'm happy to be here.
Look, this is most folks who watch this interview are going to be as flummoxed as I am about why the Alberta government is going in the absolute opposite direction of the rest of North America, pretty much. Uh, can you explain this to us? What exactly did she do?
Absolutely, and we have a few different regulatory movements, regulatory activities going on, and one of those being the Canadian Free Trade Agreement. All provinces have agreed to adopt the 2020 model codes, the tiered codes, by March of 2024. Um, so there is a bit of a push in different provinces to prepare for that. And we can see in other provinces like Ontario that there's that province has chosen to adopt Tier 3, which is an ambitious tier, really where they're at right now with the Ontario Building Code, and also, however, to the exclusion. And so the benefit in Alberta is that they will be including all the tiers. So it does provide a roadmap, which is the largest bonus of the tiered codes. We can also see provinces like Nova Scotia, relatively small province, but they'll adopt tier 2 of the National Building Code in 2025 and quickly follow that with tier 3 in 2026. This is a fairly large step for that province. And of course, we have BC, often regarded as the leader in energy efficiency. And BC is moving quickly with a move to tier 3 of the National Building Code in 2025, and again, quickly followed by tier 4 in 2027, reaching their commitment to net zero buildings in 2032. These are all steps that would be ideal for Alberta to take as well, and to really show that roadmap effect and let industry know where we're headed.
Now, I'll read from the press release, the Alberta government press release on this. These changes will help limit the potential for cost increases to new housing and ensure there is one consistent minimum standard to which all buildings must be constructed across the province. Now, it seems to me that with some of the new clean energy technologies, and heat pumps would certainly be one of those. I know when we did ours a year and a half ago, the equipment costs more to install. The capital costs are more, but the operating costs are much less. And you see the same thing with electric vehicles and with other of these electric technologies. But they save money over time, and they're actually better technologies. And it seems odd that the Alberta government would take, would move to restrict cities from requiring those kinds of technologies that over time will actually save homeowners money.
Absolutely. And when we look at the costs of high performance building, we often look at who those savings go to. So we have capital costs and our operational costs, and those capital cost measures can incremental measures can cost a little bit more, and that cost premium is coming down with each year. But we also have the operational costs. Those costs become a burden for the building owner or homeowner, depending on the type of building that it is. And those costs sit with the building over the lifetime of the building, of course. So building codes offer a one-time opportunity to take measures to enhance not just the energy performance, but also the emissions performance, and increasingly importantly, the resiliency measures. So things like a strong building envelope, well-insulated building, not only can help reduce those operational costs, so your energy costs, but they can also keep occupants warm in the event of a power outage, which we're seeing more often, as well as extreme fire events, which we saw this summer. Those are really hard to fit in a retrofit. To change the building envelope would be a large and invasive measure. So we really have to place a premium on how the building is constructed from the outset through our building codes.
Um, when we did our upgrade, it cost us about double what it would have been to get a natural gas furnace and an air conditioner. Now that wouldn't be the same in a new home because a lot of the cost of a retrofit is higher than doing it with new construction. But if you were going to finance that, a mortgage interest rate is some of the cheapest money you can do it with. So to do it when it's new and you're financing that extra, I don't know, three, four, $5,000, whatever it might be, it's not that much money. To do it with mortgage capital or mortgage money as opposed to borrowing money at a higher rate to retrofit, that seems to be the most, I don't know, efficient way to finance these kinds of energy efficiency measures.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we look at the cost to construct and then of course the cost to buy as an end purchaser of a unit, we look at those that extra $3,000-4,000 that you mentioned in the heat pump example are relatively minor or small. And those heating systems, for example, only come up for replacement every, say, 8 to 12 years. And so to after 8 to 12 years to try to change that system from a different fuel or from a technology like a furnace to much more highly efficient heat pump is quite a waste of resources. And really, if we look at installing that high performance equipment, that energy efficient equipment up front at the time of construction, the savings from the cost of your fuel, be it electricity or natural gas or otherwise, those operational costs, operational savings can help offset the additional cost that may have been incurred with the equipment. We'll note, however, we're now seeing that it's about a 3 to 4% premium on new construction in a lot of passive house projects, which would be about equivalent to Tier 5 of the National Building Code. We're also seeing all electric buildings come in at par with conventional minimum code standard buildings. So this really points to we have the technology, we have the labor skills in place. It really comes down to the will and of course the regulatory backstop being building codes.
Well, Alberta seems to be swimming against the tide on any number of energy issues, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised that they're doing it with this one. Kevin, thank you very much for this. Really appreciate your insights.
Thank you, Markham, and have a great holidays.